Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to my show. I'm the American Anchor Baby. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. I see you all rolling into the chat. We'll get started here in a moment. We got some housekeeping to do. And I have to thank everybody who joined me on Friday. That was fun. So, yes, I'm the American Anchor Baby. Make sure you follow me on Rumble as well. I'm not only streaming on YouTube, but I am streaming on Rumble. And it's a party. I see you, Mildegrew, Base Nation, and of course the Hake Report. Thanks for supporting me over there on Rumble. And we'll be getting into some stuff today, okay? I want to deal with a couple things, some fun stuff. I have some comments on dating and life, maybe a little bit about democracy, and steroids, maybe even a little bit of steroids. Okay. And, of course, your calls, 888-775-3773 if you want to get on the line and chat. If you got love, if you don't got love, no problem. My wife won't let me date. What the? Okay, welcome to the show. I have to thank all of you that joined me on Friday for a special flight. We did a special flight on Friday. If you missed it, you might want to check it out. It was nice. It was fun. We went on our maiden voyage. It was special. Great flight. Okay, we took our maiden flight on Arctic Gate, which is that's an Anchor Baby Airlines subsidiary. It's in fact it was the world's leading virtual airline, providing passengers with a breathtaking view of Antarctica. We were supposed to take our maiden flight there, and as many of you have already heard the sad news, Arctic Gate's maiden flight ended in tragedy. In a tragedy, maybe I should have hired 50-year-old white guys. Maybe I should have had some 50-year-old white guys, and maybe Arctic Gate would have gone a little better. NASA shill simulator. Whatever, Kevin. Yeah, so it was a tragedy. Souls on board lost. I mean, what can I say? I don't see it on the news, though. Everyone's still busy with this submarine. Yeah, I heard we had a billionaire on board. Yeah, I think we had a billionaire on board and everything. Yeah. It was a shame. It was sad. We had to take down our, 20 days since our last accident sign. We had to put the 0 back up. Oh, well. Yeah. We visited the source. Nice. And so that was fun. Thanks for joining me. But yeah, Arctic Gate, billionaires on stuff. It's still kind of a hot topic. I know a lot of you are already over it, as am I, sort of. But the internet is not. And I'm talking about that submarine, that little gray silver submarine. And there's a hot search term right now on Google. Just exploded in reference and searches. And let me pull up Google Trends here so I can show you. Okay, because you can go on Google Trends, type in a search query, and it'll tell you exactly how much people are searching that query and all that. So let's see if I can do something here and show you. Okay, check it out. Google Trends. Let's do a little search term here, because I'm talking about a hot term. Implosion. Oops. I'm going to have to bring this over here so I can search it up. I can actually look at what I'm typing. Implosion has exploded in searches over the past few days. I'm sure all of you already know why. That submarine succumbed to it, that implosion where those 5 on board died. And as you can see here on the timeline, we're talking, this is from 2004 till now. You see all the way on the edge over here, that huge spike, that's today. You are here. You are here. This was implosion the past, 20 years, 10 years? Yeah, 20 years, 2004 till now. Everyone's searching implosion. You guys are sick. Honestly, you guys are sick people who like sick, violent things, okay? You guys are entertained by sickness and violence, and you should repent. You should examine your life, okay? You sick people love watching these implosion videos all of a sudden, imagining this submarine. You know? It's just you guys are sick. You guys are sick. Videos like this one. Wow. No sound, but you see oil tankers just getting crushed by the outside pressure, by the differential in pressure from outside in. Wow. Yeah. Like I said, sick people. Sick people. Just Googling stuff and like, oh, I want to see an implosion. I want to see what it's like for those poor souls to be crushed by the forces of nature. I mean, I don't know. You guys got issues. You guys got major issues. And I don't know what to tell you. Ooh, what's this? Oh! Oh, geez. See, sick videos like that. You sick people. That was interesting. What was the text? The text to that video was interesting. It said, the instant collapse of the pressure, the hull would immediately heat the air in the sub to around the surface of the sun's temperature as a wall of metal and seawater smashed one end of the boat to the other, all in around 30 milliseconds. Wow. Yeah, Sean was telling me about that. Surface of the sun, it would be instant. It would be at least, yeah. It would be pretty bad, right? But I don't know. You guys are sick just searching this up, like these implosion videos. Like you saw that exploded in searches. Like you just sick people. You guys are just sick people. Oh, what's this?
Come on. Yes.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Like I said, sick people. Let's move on. Let's move on. Oh, Lord. Okay, one more. No, that's it. That's it. I can't tell if Nick is trolling or not. What a mess. Happy Monday. How you guys doing? How you guys doing today? All right, let's move on from all this sick material here. This is sickening, like I keep saying. Okay. Let's see what I want to do next. What about the porta potty, Nick? Freckles at 20,000 leagues before. Jeez. That's right, Ogden Bell. It's Monday and I ain't imploded yet. Nick needs help. Okay, maybe I need some help. But I might need a little help. Textbook projection. Yeah, have y'all done your daily Googles? Pete Wilkins asks in the chat. You guys been doing your Googles? I don't know if you guys been doing your Googles. Christine Stewart is another sick person in the chat who's enjoying these videos along with the rest of us. Let's be real. We all wanted to see, well, not everybody. Some people don't need to see such things. Some people are a little more pure and go through life a little more simply. But for the rest of us, yeah, we wanted to see what happened. We wanted to see what happened there. But yeah, you guys don't do your Googles? I was doing my Googles, and I came across some viral content. Okay, let's see if I can pull it up here. I came across some viral content. Okay, we're gonna get into some viral video here, and it's a little bit about dating, maybe some inceldom, incels. I take my Googles twice a day, every day. Hold on, you've had too much Google. You want to calm down. You're taking too much Google, CSS element. Are those doctor approved Googles? Or is that under the counter? So this video has to do a little bit with incels, maybe like dating, and it's this guy, and he's talking about his woes in the dating world. And if you haven't realized, if you haven't noticed, well, dating is kind of, it's not even dating. But, you know, the relationship between men and women is kind of in shambles. I don't know if you've noticed. And we're seeing this expressed in different ways, okay? Marriage, divorce rates, single parent, like the kaleidoscope of transmutations that the breakdown of the relationship between men and women has brought about, namely breakdown of marriage, really. I mean, what we're seeing is society transmutated in different areas. Some people might say they could see it coming, but kind of interesting. And I'm talking about marriage, divorce rates, things like single parents, okay? Things, low birth rates, okay? Things maybe even a little less expected, like crime and single parenthood, okay? Anger, we're talking economic issues. Yeah, even less obvious is things we're seeing, the fight between the races, the weakness of men. Like I said, we're seeing it expressed in so many different ways. This shamble, the state of men and women in America, worldwide, could you say? You could even say maybe it's been like this for a long time. But I only have the scope of my life and a little bit of what people tell me, okay? And from what I've seen, it's just been getting worse. Okay, we're talking divorce rates were already high when I was young. And then seeing pretty much all of my peers, I can't think of, I know it's the majority, that's for sure. The majority of my peers, my age, younger, all affected in some way, shape, or form by this destruction in that relationship. Something that may have happened at the beginning of time, Adam and Eve, I don't know. But like I said, we're seeing this expressed. Majority of my peers affected negatively by this, whether it's divorce or not, some people who had two parents in the home even. Okay? We're seeing this in shambles. Even just little things like dating, we're seeing men totally opt out. Just totally opt out of dating, frustrated. That was emblematic of movements like MGTOW and stuff. But even beyond that, it's beyond, in my opinion, it's kind of beyond any sort of like group that's like MGTOW is a group that came about as a response to women and stuff going on right now. But it's not contained in a group, is what I'm saying. We're seeing most young people live, what's being reported as like sexless lives, which may not be like a bad thing, but you should be married, right? You should be married before doing that kind of stuff. But it's not that young people are having less and less sex because they're deciding to be moral. I don't think that's why. It doesn't seem like it. Because they've decided there are some who want something different or what they have is not working. And there are some who call themselves incel, for example, involuntary celibate. There's some that say because due to stuff out of their control or it's a mixture of stuff out of their control and stuff in their control. That is the reason why they remain out of the dating pool, out of the dating market, the sexual market, some say. Sounds degenerate. The sexual market, like, let me look valuable. Let me look valuable to, anyways. So there's this video and it's gone a little viral. Like I said, it's this Asian guy, and he's talking about why he can't get a date. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. No, not more implosion videos. Let's move. No, implosion 4. No, don't need that. Implosion 5. No. 3 is enough. Let's move on from that. Oh, that's not it.
Raise the rank of all single mothers.
Yep. Okay, let's watch the video. Enough joking around.
There's this problem nowadays where if you don't have any experience, you can't get a job. And if you don't have a job, you can't get any experience. So I went on a first date with this girl and we were getting along, and then she asked me, hey, what's your past relationship experience like? I was being very honest and I told her, I've never had a girlfriend before in my life. And then she laughs a little and then she tells me like, hey, you know, even my 11-year-old cousin not 2 girlfriends already at this point. Anyways, when we get home, I message her, hey, I had a good time. I'd love to see you again. And she never responds. And then I take a quick look at her Hinge profile and I see that she's updated one of her prompts. My most irrational fear is being someone's first girlfriend. What are people like me supposed to do? Were there relationship internships I was supposed to apply for or something?
LOL. Hold on. Oh, man. Where's the internships? Where are these internships? Where are the entry level girlfriends? Where are the entry level? All these immigrants came and took our entry level girlfriends, leaving our disaffected youth. A lot of you guys are already giving this guy the business in the chat. They've come here. They've outsourced all of our girlfriends to these immigrants, and now our disaffected youth can't even get a girlfriend. They need to get more and more educated. Okay, I'm taking this bit too far. But you saw the video, and you guys are already you guys are giving it to Chinese butt, grow a beard, super beta, too much soy. That haircut would suggest that is truth. Not a single one of you are saying, hop in a nice car and she'll think you were lying, but she'll still like you, buddy. Not one of you are agreeing with him. There's not one of you are saying, you know what, man, you're right. What's up? Where are the entry-level girlfriends? Because no one told me that I needed experience before. So yeah, none of you guys are justifying this guy at all, huh? And you heard him, right? He's talking about this. He's dating, and this girl asks him, and she goes on and posts on her social media that her worst fear is being a guy's first girlfriend. And she was apparently telling this guy, even my 11-year-old cousin has had girlfriends. So, you know, we don't know how it went down. Maybe she was being nice. Maybe she was just telling them the truth that nobody else would. Right? He don't want that vanity trap anyways. Oh, come on, guys. You don't know. Maybe she's a total sweetheart. And she's just telling him what's up. I don't know why. She's on Hinge, apparently. Hinge dating app. Is that the Christian one? No, it's not. Hinge. Well, is she that Christian and nice if she's on Hinge? Well, he's on Hinge too, right? People on dating apps. Anyways, it's funny. a little bit. But there are people with similar plights, okay? Wondering what's wrong with women, what's wrong here? Okay, but I mean, some of you, I think, are pointing out maybe one thing that's clearly wrong. Nah, he just realized he might not, whatever. The emasculation of men started in the garden, Nick. You all right? Right on, Lord Spike Protein. What's up? See, some of you are kind of alluding to something here, okay? Because I think we can all agree, and I don't see anybody in chat saying, oh, someone in chat is saying he's right. DNK, what do you mean? You're saying this guy, this video we just saw is correct about this? What is he right about? I'd like to know what you mean, DNK. You can call in 888-775-3773 because it doesn't seem like most of you guys agree with that premise that he's just being rejected. What is he supposed to do? He's at a loss. It seems like there's nothing he could do if girls are going to be like this. But it seems like you guys are alluding to what I'm thinking here, which is everything he said is not an issue. Everything he said, it's how and the motivation and spirit behind it, okay? Because this, I can imagine this guy on a date, okay? Why would there is no woman, there is no way that if you don't have any dating experience and you went on a date with some woman and she asked you, like this may happen, but I find it very hard to believe that a woman would just you're on a date and you tell her, oh, yeah, I have no dating experience. And that's the sole reason why she doesn't, she rejected you or something. Not that that matters. Rejection, whatever. We'll get into that in a second. But let's just take this story face value for a second here. We'll get into more stuff. There's no woman in the world that is not in any significant amount, any woman actually rejecting you for just that. Okay? Like let's say you have no dating experience at all, but confident, clean guy. Just confident, you don't have any hang-ups. Did you know that people can see your hang-ups? People can see right through you. People can see your issues, even if they can't quite put a finger on it. Girls are especially good at this. They have a certain metric for this, okay? Like an internal litmus test. It's not infallible. We'll get into that in a moment as well. But yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's the only thing. Because I see your reaction is telling me how the world sees this, okay? And I know the world is messed up and evil. But the chat's reaction is the world's reaction. Nobody likes seeing a man whine. Straight up. Nobody does. Nobody does. Especially women. But nobody likes seeing that. It destroys the confidence of people around you because you're as a man, as a male in this world, and as hopefully a man, there's almost a responsibility thrust upon you simply from being born this way. Okay? You have this responsibility that's just thrust upon you. That's why so many men are going trans. It's easier, okay? They know somewhere deep inside they have some responsibility not to be so degenerate, to maybe lead the way, to overcome. They see what's in their way and they just can't seem to step up to the plate. And they're like, you know what's easier? Let me put on a dress. I think that's why there's more men turning women than women turning men. Although I think that even that's changing. But you have a responsibility almost thrust upon you. And not complaining is one of the more simplistic surface ways of describing this responsibility, but it's true. Okay? Everything is on you. Literally everything. Your girlfriend, how she acts, how you feel. We're going to get into all that as well. But it's kind of funny a little bit, this video. Is he deflecting, y'all? Some people are saying, I see some of you in the chats kind of agreeing with him, but I think I think it's a way of deflecting and a way of not working on yourself, which is one of the worst things you could do, especially if you're dating. Shout out Joel Friday. You got to catch his show tomorrow. Great show. He was talking about that. Not working yourself. One of the worst things you could do, seriously. And you don't need a girlfriend anyways, man. You don't need, if you're like acting like this, I don't know if really a girlfriend is what you need right now. Like, you got to work on yourself. And this guy is talking about this girl he met on Hinge. And she didn't like that he has no dating experience. And then she goes on social media and says, oh, I don't want to be a boy's first girlfriend. And there's kind of two sides to that. Because it should only be your first or your last, okay? Hello? Can I get an amen? I mean, a lot of us in the chat, myself included, we can't be judging. I mean, we didn't quite stay with our first. We didn't quite maintain traditions, many of us. You know? But this girl is saying she doesn't want to be the first, so what? You want to have a string of boyfriends? That's not Christian. But you can kind of understand it. With the state of men, and it seems like girls either, they get, and they have their own issues as well. They're not peaches or angels, but they either stuck with a weak guy that is really just motivated by his lust for her, or they're stuck with there's probably more options here, or they're stuck with a guy that's out of control. And maybe even more ways than just sexually. Yeah, he's an alpha, but you can't keep him down. And so you can kind of understand that statement because, I don't know, girls are like running the show in a lot of relationships and stuff. They're not so, what should you call it, worm-like than most of the men because the order has been flipped. Okay, you can't be the worm if you're on top. Not that the woman beneath the man is a worm. No, that's what she's supposed to be. But with the whole thing flipped upside down, and I'm talking about the whole thing, I'm talking about the order of God. You know what I'm talking about. Man over woman, woman over children. So yeah, I saw more of this guy's TikTok. You know, this video was interesting as well.
So I'm ethnically Chinese, but I pass for Korean. And so I get like front row seats to a lot of preferences on dating apps. Because one of the first one matching me, and like, obviously the rest of my profile was appealing enough to such a deal breaker, you know?
Wait a second, so this guy he's on the dating apps. He's saying he gets a lot of first preferential treatment on this. So you know, I've never used these dating apps, ever. And, but we all know, guys don't get a lot, your average guy doesn't get a lot of that much traction on these dating apps, okay? It's the women that get all sorts of, like, anyone, like, pretty much any girl I've ever met. If she had a online dating thing, if she didn't have one already, I knew it would be very, I don't know if you could call it successful, but it would be popping. Okay, she'd be getting plenty of messages. Guys are a little harder to come by. But he's saying he's got preferential treatment. He's doing fine. Get off the app in the first place. Okay, it's the wrong motivation. See, people here are looking at your profile, like this guy, and they're saying, "Oh, Korean," and they're checking off boxes. They're saying, "Oh, Korean. Oh, look at him. Oh, let me swipe through his pics. Oh, he's got. Okay, I like that. Ooh, I think. He's got friends." And they're just checking off boxes, okay? It's such a setup. I realize why the dating apps are such a setup too. I've heard Jesse talk about it and all that, and I've heard the more modern people say, well, people just don't meet each other. It's just a different world, okay? This is just how people meet. And I maybe somewhat understood that, but I just never used or needed one, so I couldn't fully go all in on that. But I realized the setup is that you have a profile. The fact that you even have a profile is the setup. Why would you don't meet people with profiles and people just check boxes and they can pick and choose and like, okay, people lie on profiles. We all know this. But that's the setup. You're creating an image and expectation in your mind. And when you do that, we all know this, it creates a division within you and the people you meet, and you can't be natural, you can't be normal. Now you're trying to either defend an image or identity or destroy it or whatever. You know, or trying to justify a different one because they're competing. You follow me here? It's the big setup of the dating apps, the profile building. Maybe we gotta. There might be a way to do the dating apps, but anyways, that's the big setup. What was I saying? Yeah, this guy's getting traction on the dating apps. So yeah, what was I saying here? But they don't like him because he's Chinese? I don't know. Maybe you do fine with a nice Chinese girl, huh? Huh there, buddy? Maybe you'll do well if you find yourself a nice Chinese girl, huh? Make mama proud. You don't want to make mama proud. Come on, bring home a nice Chinese girl. Maybe you'll do better. Matthew says, organically meeting someone IRL is much more fruitful. You know what? I gotta say, I've always been quite like social, like I could talk to people, yet at the same time I'm like a loner. It's a weird dichotomy. But I think in general, I was the type of person to be not talk to people, definitely in public, not strangers. But over the years, and I've always heard this over the years, you just meet people in your daily life. That is 1,000,000% true. I meet people all the time. Just strike up a conversation. Say hello. You'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised. Yeah, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. You can. What are you saying, Red Dirt Farm? I don't know about this inside joke. That's what Hake's mama been saying? And so this guy, like, imagine this guy. Well, I'll get into that in a moment here. I see your calls coming in. I do appreciate your calls. 888-775-3773. Let me say this, though. A little bit about dating, too, just because I'm thinking about this. I look at this guy, and I realize something I've kind of known already for a bit, but I could put into words, I think, now. But you can overcome anything. Like, really, you really can. You really, truly can. And even in this context. Like, a lot of people may feel like this guy, they're dating or whatever. The point I'm going to make here is really about yourself, okay? Everything starts and ends with you. It really does. Even your dating life, even stuff with your girlfriend and all that. This guy, look, that girl does not care about your dating history. Girls don't care about that. Like, but here's the thing too, they don't even really care about all this stuff the world tells you need, okay? They're really generally quite simple. What gets complicated is what's going on inside of you, okay? Follow me here. Let me make this point. Let me build this point here because going off the top. It's like what I'm describing here, the complexity I'm describing is the mind. Okay, we know this a little bit already. We know about the mind and the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings. And women, people can, but women and your girlfriend and stuff, they can sense stuff, okay? You don't need to be you don't need to know this or have this, okay? You just need to be cool. You follow me here? Like, drop your ego, drop your self-aggrandizing view of yourself where you need to look a certain way and look cool. Just being just natural, just chill and cool is more powerful than anything. Okay? Because then she's having a cool time. That's all that matters. Okay, it's not about you have to say the right things. You literally just need to feel okay. And I know the feelings thing is like confusing because we're trying to overcome emotions. But when I say you need to feel okay, it means you just need to drop everything. Whatever you're thinking and feeling, you're putting it out there without even knowing. Okay? She just wants to be like safe and normal and fun. Just fun, light. That's a good word. Light. Very light. Just everything's supposed to be light, man. Like a little girl, like a child. And that's everything. You follow me here? The complexity is only inside of you. There's no complexity between that I was mentioning earlier in the show. That the fight between men and women. That fight between men and women is actually not even between men and women. It's just the complexity you have inside, which is built up over time from believing your thoughts and creating these identities. I gotta look like this. I listened to Jessie, now I have to be an alpha for her. I listened to this, and now I have to be this way, okay? And you've built those up, and that's where the complexity lies. Because it's supposed to be simple, guys. It's supposed to be light and fun. Truly. And that guy, and again, I'm kind of just speculating. I don't really know, but I think that guy would have been fine, even with no dating experience. You don't need that experience, okay? You really don't. You just have to pay attention. You just have to like pay attention. There's young guys out. You guys know Nick Fuentes, right? I've watched this show every now and then. That young guy, when he talk, I'm not saying he gets it with the women, but he's a pretty tough guy, and I'm pretty sure. Hake, I'm sorry. I don't know. I got excited. I don't mean to just bring up Hake. I don't know if he's talked about it before. I'm not trying to be too personal. Stop me if I'm being too personal, but that guy, I see him deal with women in a great way, right? And like I said, you don't need to have all this experience, because you know what people mean when they say experience. They mean like sex and fighting. That's not experience, okay? That's just a mess. That's just a mess. So keep it light, okay? Relax, okay? Calm down. Why are you so nervous? And don't keep score. It's another thing. Anyways, I'll expand on that later. I got a call. I don't want to get too bogged down here, lose time here. We'll have fun. We have more show, plenty of more show to do. We'll deal with keeping score, democracy. I want to talk about RFK and the Dodgers. We got some stuff to do, okay? I got Frederick, Los Angeles, California, man. Thanks for your call. You're on the air.
What's up, Nick? How's it going?
Frederick, thanks for your call, man. It's going well.
I think these women are to the point that they don't need men for security, and really they really want you to be secure when they come to your place. So
they want you to be what?
You have to be at an income level where they feel secure with you. So as long as you're at an income level that makes them feel secure when they spending time with you, then I'm thinking like women don't need men like they used to no more. They call them beta or simps if you try to take care of them, because a woman is so devilish out here now that women can make more money than men, and they know that.
You know what? There's a good couple points here. Definitely want to get into this. I want to thank you for calling me, though, man. Frederick, you called me the other day. I don't want to gloss over this. I just wanted to tell you straight up. I said it in the chat. I just wanted to tell you, man, I don't think I had to hang up on you that last time you called me like that. I didn't think I had to do it like that. Straight up.
I was trying not to really run my... I was trying to make my own point.
What I was saying at the moment...
It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I know we're cool. Thank you for your call. What I was saying, I mean... I don't want to be accusatory, but like you do that, but you weren't doing it that time. Come on, I didn't need to go all hard on you like that. At least let him do the crime before you make him do the time. All right, Frederick. Sorry about that. So women, women. I think what you're saying is somewhat true. That when you look at it like generally in a big picture and from the big picture, I mean, that seems like it's the only way it can go. When women start making more money and men start making less money, they're not the breadwinners. They're not the primary ones. They're not the leaders and all that. When you look at it like that, it seems like that's the only way it can go. Women turning away and things falling apart.
But when you're not looking to them to be like their man and want to keep them in the friend zone, all of a sudden it changes. They be trying to hold you down and try to make you commit.
Okay.
When you're not even ready to commit. And that's you want to be like more traditional, like the Muslims be like, who is your father? Let me find out who your father is. Your father in the house? And then you get to, and then she'll go on to talk about who her father is, and then she'll see that you got values, and then she'll change into a more traditional. If she's that type,
right.
For the street,
okay,
she's gonna be for the street.
And I don't think you're wrong, man. I think what you're saying is generally true, but I can't totally agree with if you have no money, she's gonna leave you. I think tell me what you think about this, Frederick. But I think all men really, and in most cases they're not in the position to do this. In most cases they're not in the marriage or relationship to do this. But I think all men have it in them to just keep a woman. Does that make sense? Like by just. That's a lie. I don't believe at all what I'm saying. No, that's a lie. Look, a woman might turn on you and you can't like.
Polyamory now.
I was just trying to
polygamy.
say again, Frederick. I don't want to miss what you just said. Say that again.
There's this thing they call in polyamory where it's not polygamy, but it's everybody. You can have as many relationships with anybody you want, and they can too, and you stay single, and it puts the pressure on them to try to see if you're good enough to keep or not. How many? It's crazy.
I just think that we've been lied to that to condition and think into thinking that women require a lot in a relationship or that men require a lot. And I think we've been, in my opinion, I think we've been, conditioned and brainwashed. So what I was trying to express is that I think all men have it within them to keep a woman in that a woman doesn't need much if you're like really there, really about it.
No, they don't. They don't.
That's really what I was trying to express, is that our expectations for each other have been really just brought up to levels that make no sense.
Yeah. If men all came together and vowed that we're not going to give women money, and that's the bottom line, we're going to keep our money, there would still be frisky women that have sex for free. And now if we choose to have sex with those ones, and then the women that you got to pay aren't getting any, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to become traditional women and say, okay, this ain't going right. They're getting theirs without us.
Yeah.
We're not getting our way.
It's just...
And then they're going to be like, look...
You're making sense, man. Like,
they have a clock this thing.
We are the leaders of the way. Even if it's to the wrong way, it starts and ends with us.
Yeah, just like the consumer. Everybody from the top all the way to the bottom is at fault when, like if, what they say with sin.
Say again?
All the way down to the consumer, to the businessman, everybody is at fault if it's in evil.
So, kind of like how we spend money on things and it goes to evil things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
everybody played a part.
And I understand it might not be feasible or to do that in all parts of your life, but I respect it when people do and try to do that. Because they're still trying to exert their influence on the world around them with what they have, and what they have is their money. And if you just put your money where if you just don't put the money towards the evil, it might do something.
Do you think we should bring back concubines?
Oh yeah, Oh, yeah. Forced arranged marriages, first of all.
Arranged marriages or something?
Arranged marriages. No, I'm playing. That was a joke.
Hey,
I think
some of those marriages last.
That's true. I was about to say I'm not going to totally poo-poo an arranged marriage when you know.
Yeah,
I've heard stuff. I've heard many different things about that kind of stuff.
The father's got to give you the approval, because why would they return to their father if you got to give them off to another man and you don't know if he's returned to his father? So it's like you bring them up and then you got to give them away to be under a whole nother man. It's not like
oh, gotcha. And it's like you can't leave it up to her anyways. You're talking about this is the project. This is our bloodline, and you're gonna leave it up to her?
Mm-hmm.
No. I pick your husband. No, that I understand that where that thinking comes from, but it kind of. I mean, there's issues in that too, right? There's issues in that too.
Yeah.
The motivation has to be real, okay? And the motivation can be real in an arranged marriage. Just because it's arranged doesn't mean that the two people aren't motivated by the correct thing. Meaning the woman wants to submit to her husband, and the husband wants to do the right thing. You follow me here? Just because it's arranged doesn't. It's about the motivation, right? And so there's plenty of non-arranged marriages with the wrong motivation. It's about the inner, not the outer.
Right. Even if it's 20 goats, he's showing he could provide security, and he come for money or whatever, however the arrangements work. But I'm sure
it's just about the money thing. I know personally, and I've seen over the years, I've seen in like the times of the Great Depression, even plenty of women, just the women of the country, of the nation, married to the man and not needing much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
True.
That's out. Not trying to be a model. Okay. Oh, I need this or that. Kim Kardashian wore this. Just a man and a woman.
They're gonna talk about their men and make them feel bad. So they gotta be in competition with their girlfriends they hang around most. So I mean, it's just a mess. And then the music don't make it no better.
Yo, speaking of music, do you know who Sun Ra is? Hello?
Sun Ra.
Rapper,
right?
No, he was like a jazz composer. Poet, very experimental guy. He was he believed he was like an Egyptian pharaoh. He's a very interesting guy. I really like his story and life.
I'm gonna look him up.
Sun Ra, Alabama. I might do a little thing on Sun Ra, but talking to you reminded me about it a little bit. Right on, Frederick.
Okay. All right, spin the wheel.
Yes, sir.
But our men, we got to focus on ourselves and the women to come. Once they see a man love themselves, they're going to fall in love with you. They know you on the right path.
Dang. Where's he wrong, chat? Yep. Where's he wrong? Thanks, Frederick. Appreciate your call.
All right, no problem.
Moving the wheels. I mean, where's he wrong? Yeah, Sun Ra is legendarily weird. So true, Emperor of Cats. I'm going to do a little thing on him. You guys are going to like this. I'll do a little flight. Maybe Friday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. But I want to do a thing on Sun Ra. You guys are going to love it. Okay. What's next? I want to talk about democracy. I think that's what I want to talk about. I went to a Dodgers game yesterday. I went to my first and my last, because now I'm protesting. Now that I have my fun, now I'm protesting. I went to a Dodgers game yesterday. I gave my money to the transgender. I'm sorry. That was really stupid. I put my money towards, sorry, chat. One game and Nick is done. I had to, first of all, being in LA, being an anchor baby in America, an anchor baby in LA, I've been driving these streets, the palm trees going by, grateful, just like seeing the bums, but I'm like, my life is crazy. I'm blessed. And even if you don't have palm trees, your life is blessed. But I'm not an Angelino until I went to a Dodgers game. I was told by someone whom I trust I was told by someone whom I trust. I was told that if you haven't even gone to a Dodgers game, how can you call yourself an Angelino? Did you know that's what a Los Angeles resident? What do all cities, like big cities have their own little name for residents? I can't remember. Torontonians? Yeah. People used to call people from Toronto a Torontonian. Shout out T-Dot. But yeah, here in Los Angeles, they're Angelinos. Angelinos. So cute. A native or inhabitant. Oh, here's the definition from Google. Google says an Angelino is a native or inhabitant of Los Angeles. I wonder if that was the definition always. If it was always a native or inhabitant. You know what I mean? Dubious. Quite dubious, in fact. In fact, very dubitable, I must say. But I became an Angelino yesterday. Went to see the Dodgers versus the Astros. Is it Houston Astros? Yeah, the Houston Astros, which there's a little controversy there. And I became aware of many things. I don't know baseball that much, guys. I know how it works a little bit. And I'm revealing myself to be a bad American anchor baby in this very moment. Yeah, I could see what was going on, but I had to like kind of pay attention or else I'd lose it pretty quick. I see more sports. I'm like, if I'm into it, I'll like Google it and get the regulation. And I'm like in the theory, right? But I had to actually be all natural and just watch the game and enjoy it and kind of understand it. And like I said, I understand it. Maybe not as well as I should. Okay, but we're watching the Astros versus the Dodgers. That's what they call them because you may not know, but the Dodgers is the Mexican team. All the Mexicans love the Dodgers, and it's like Mexicans, as far as the eye could see, to my left, to my right. There was plenty of fans of all races, but that's the meme. It's the Dodgers. I mean, los Dodgers, yeah. And then the white team, who's the white team? They're red. They're a baseball team. They're in California. Oh my God. Their color is red. Baseball teams, California. Come on, Chad. Come on. The Angels. Yes, the Angels. The Anaheim Angels, okay? And I went to an Anaheim Angels game maybe like a year ago, maybe longer. And yeah, the Anaheim Angels, they're the white team. It's all like nice. The music is a little different. They have the classic songs, okay? They both played Take Me Out to the Ball Game. They Nick forgets Angels. Jeez. They have the song, they have I think I remember hearing an organist on both, and they have the classics, the baseball classics. But the Angels, if I remember, the music was more like all night long. You know what I mean? Kind of rock, classic. And then over at the Dodger Stadium, it's like Snoop Dogg, like bring, 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 bring. What's that song? Come on, the classic with the piano. Dre. Is it Steel? Steel, yeah. And so that's the difference. There's the difference between your Anaheim Angels, very nice, and the Dodgers. Still Dre, yeah. All night long, just like white and just nice. I enjoyed both, honestly. The energy at the Dodgers game was, hey, it's infectious. I'm here yelling I hear the crack of the bat. I'm like yelling. I'm like, I don't care about baseball. And I'm here, I'm yelling. I'm like, yeah, get him. The energy's infectious. What can I say? It went on long. It was like 11 or 12 innings. So it was like head to head for a bit. I forget who won. Oh yeah, Dodgers lost. There's a controversy, no? Houston Astros versus the Dodgers. And there's this little white girl that was sitting a few seats away from me, and she was not red in the face, like red in the body, head to toe, yelling, cheater, cheater, spit veins, the veins bulging out of her neck. Joe Biden would be not impressed. It might have seen her as a racist with all those bulging veins out of her neck. But she was like, cheater, spit coming out. Not very ladylike. Not very ladylike. Let me pull this up because I don't even know the scandal. Houston Astros sign stealing scandal resulted from a series of rule violations by members of the Houston Astros of Major League Baseball who used technology to steal signs. Oh, yes. Someone explained this to me. Yeah. So, you do this hand signals, what pitch you're about to do. So you tell your pitcher to get ready. I mean, the catcher. So you're pitching. You got your catcher. You got the enemy batter. Whatever. And the enemy. And so you do the little hand signal so the catcher knows what you're about to throw. Well, I believe the Houston Astros cracked the code. They cracked the code of their opposing team, which I believe was the Dodgers, right? It might have been more. It looks like, yeah. In the World Series, the Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 7 games, going 2-2 at Dodger Stadium, 2-1 at Minute Maid Park. It was their first World Series championship in franchise history and the city's first championship since 1995. And then the accusations, and then the signs. So the Astros broke the code. They knew what the signs meant of their enemy, of their opposing team, and so they were in. I believe they had like earpieces or something, and they were in their ear telling them, "Here's what's coming." Cheaters! Cheater! Yeah. Sounds like smart playing to me, says Emperor of Cats. Here's another thing I learned about baseball. I heard if you're not cheating, you don't care about winning. Is that true? I heard that if you're not cheating in baseball, you don't really care about winning. Cheating is the most normal thing in baseball, is what I heard. Oh, so you're not cheating? Don't ask Barry Bonds. I know a little bit about that. That's funny. Baseball's kind of cool, actually. Everything around it. The sport's cool, too. The sport's cool, too. You guys are funny in the chat. Yeah, if you're not cheating, you don't care about winning in baseball. America's sport. Isn't that kind of a shame, too? I feel like Big Bump might have said that. He was guest hosting on the Hake Report. Great episodes when Big Bump co-hosts. And, yeah, I don't know if I was talking to him privately and he mentioned this to me, but they were talking about baseball. And it's kind of also a little poetic, emblematic that cheating I think it wasn't always like this. I don't know. Maybe some of you know better in chat. If you aren't cheating, you aren't trying. There you go. Thanks. Everything is fake. But, it wasn't always like that. And it was more wholesome at some time. And it was also a common theme is father-son, playing catch, the family, baseball. And so to see it in the state which it's in, which is what? What can you say the state it's in? Full of boricuas and cheaters. Full of boricuas and cheaters. Oh, I also heard, who was the team? There's a team, I think it's the Yankees, and they have a tradition that everyone has to be clean shaven, and they've had that tradition for like decades. And you're not allowed a beard if you're a New York Yankee. I think it's the Yankees. Interesting sport. Okay, let me see what's next here though. Anything else about baseball? Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah. America's pastime or whatever. Is that what they call it? And so to see it full of boricuas and cheaters. Cheating is acceptable in America. They know how it was built. What, Frederick? Whatever, Frederick. Sour grapes in the chat. Sour grapes from an enjoyer of the spoils. Let's be real, okay? All right, Frederick. Nick, baseball is the only sport without a time limit and the only one where the offense doesn't have the ball. Oh, that's interesting. That's clear. That is a true statement now that I think about it. And it's kind of interesting. What do you think that means, Kevin Howe? Like, how do you think that regulatory kind of way it's set up, how do you think that has affected the spirit of the game and stuff like that? What do you think about that, Kevin? That's an interesting statement. Nick, baseball is the only sport without a time limit and the only one where the offense doesn't have the ball. Yeah, interesting. If everyone is cheating, or is anyone really cheating? Interesting question, Pete Wilkins, and actually segues. It segues a little bit into this, okay? Because I want to talk about jacked and tan nationalism. Okay? I want to talk about the Iron Paradise, steroid nationalism. Okay? I'm talking about Mr. Olympia nationalism. I'm talking about, yeah, buddy, nationalism. Is my new politics, okay? New political ideology I'm into. I'm talking about that. I'm a Ronnie Colemanite. Okay, what I'm talking about is RFK. You know this. You know who RFK is a little bit. I like this guy a little bit. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is running for president. You've heard him with that halting way of speaking. And I'm not making fun of him. It's just to remind you. Ain't nothing but a peanut. Yeah. RFK Jr. went viral on Twitter. Okay, went viral on Twitter over a video of him where many are wondering, wait, is this RFK? Turns out it is, in fact, RFK. And I'm going to show you that beautiful footage here in a second. Let me pull it up. RFK Jr. in the Iron Paradise, in the Iron Palace. Well, no, it's not the Iron Palace. He's outside. He's in the Iron Paradise. Both places that are near and dear to my heart. Okay. But here's RFK Jr. at the Iron Paradise.
I'm not going to touch the bar until I see it stop for more than a second. Let's go. Let's go.
Get it up.
Let's go. 6.
Up.
Run it. Let's go.
One more.
Up.
Let's go. Good set, bud. Yes, that was RFK Jr. lifting. What's he lifting there? What do we got? On the bar? We got a bar 45. We got, looks like possibly 2 10s and a 5? 2 10s, 2 5s? Or is that 2 25s and 2 10s? What are we lifting here, RFK? He's at least lifting 75 for incline, or he's doing, which I think he's doing this. I think he's doing 115. 115 for incline bench press. A nice job, RFK Jr. Good work on that set. Getting jacked. Let me see if I can pull up the physique, post physique. I mean, you guys could see who I'm talking about there. You guys could see that he was lifting. How old is RFK Jr.? 69 years old. I didn't know I was going to find who I was voting for that quickly. Plus or minus 150. Okay, plus or minus 150. That's fair. 115 is 2 35s and a bar. Yeah, Jason wears a bonnet, but as we can see in this video, I see 4 plates, 2 bigger ones, 2 smaller ones. They don't look like 45s. They honestly don't look like 35s. Yeah, they look like they're either 25s or they're 10s and 5s. So I think it's 115 though. That's weak, bro. Do you even lift? It's not that. Okay, Kevin, that's not that strong. I know that many of you guys are, I see you guys in the chat. You guys are jacked out of your tree. You guys are obviously absolute monsters in units in the chat because 115 is not that much. Not for incline. Definitely not for bench press. But it's good. I mean, what did I do for the bench press challenge? Wasn't it, I forget how much I did. Did I do 100 pounds? Was it 90 pounds? Or was it 190? I can't remember. I think it was 190. I did 190 for one rep max. It was a challenge. Anybody remembers that? How many reps did he do? He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he was about to stop and he said, one more, 6. No, he did 7 reps. He went to failure there. Got a little help with the last one. That's how you know you hit it right. But that's right. I did 190 for my 1 rep max. I said, Lord Bibby said that. Thank you, Lord Bibby, for the reminder. That was fun. That was a good time. It was a 180-pound bench press challenge from Lord Bibby. It was a 1 rep max, though. So it's a little, you could see it as easier or harder depending on how you look at it. I ended up going even further beyond. And this is to go even further beyond. And I went to 190, which is, even that is not that much. For a 1 rep max, that's not even for reps, like multiple. That was like the most I could do for just 1. That's not that much, okay? People are, the general rule of thumb is it starts to get impressive when you start going past. It just begins to get impressive when you start going past your body weight, but really it's like you got to get to like 225 or even more. You got to get to Jesse's level, okay? Jesse be doing 225 or more for reps, I forget. I'm working on it, okay? I'm going to take my time because I'm all natty. I'm all natural. I have my natty card. I don't know about some of y'all. Some of you people in the chat clearly laughing at RFK. Clearly you guys lift hundreds of pounds. It's ridiculous. Maybe even juiced out of your tree, right? Steroids. I for one, though, I'm natural personally. I don't know if I would advise people to get on steroids. Not really something you might not want to do. You might do irreparable damage to your body. No excuses, just action. Okay, Matthew, but what about action over a long time? Let me take my time. The slower you go, the faster you'll get there. David C. in the chat says, RFK needs TRT. Well, this is my question. I'm talking about the natty card, being on steroids or not. Is RFK on TRT? Has he talked about it? Is RFK Jr., let's check, let's ask, let's do our Googles. We're doing our daily Googles today. Is RFK Jr. on TRT? TRT, if you don't know, is testosterone replacement therapy, okay? Testosterone replacement therapy. If you guys don't know what it is, it's definitely risen in popularity in the past few years as a medical treatment for low T. In my opinion, there's been a big explosion in this fitness world thanks to video content, shorts content, Instagram. This last decade and even shorter has been like an explosion for fitness content. Everyone, we came out of the 2000s rap era and all that big booty music, and we haven't recovered from that. And now everybody wants to get in the gym and they want a big everything. Everybody just wants that. They see it on Instagram, they scroll up, they don't realize that a lot of these female influencers are on, it's less noticeable on female influencers, but they're on steroids, building large muscles with the help of male hormones. And they don't look like all juiced up like a male. It's a pernicious facet of the fitness industry right now. Females on steroids selling you, workouts and programs to look like me when you won't. Oh man, thanks for the super chat based nation. That's I got some support over there on Rumble. It says, here's some reparations for the plane. That's awesome. Thank you for the support. You can super chat on YouTube or Rumble. That's awesome. But where was I? Some of you might not realize they're either juiced. These ladies are either juiced, meaning on steroids, to build very large muscles, or they just straight up get Brazilian butt lifts and then they go and sell workout plans. It's a mess. Be careful what you listen and believe, okay? Go out and do the work yourself and find out. Find out for yourself, okay? Go and do the work. Before you judge and say, that guy's just juiced, I'll never get like that. Or that guy is, or I'm going to look like this person or that person. Go out and do the work yourself and see reality. It's fun working on muscles and working on yourself. Working on your muscles and stuff. It's kind of like working on yourself. It's a little different, but it's fun. It could be just as fun. It could be the same. It could be in a similar way fun. But if you don't know, where was I? TRT. You don't know what TRT is? Well, it treats low T. And like I was saying, I think this treatment, this TRT treatment, which is also wasn't that common. Now it's exploded in popularity. Search terms on Twitter. I wonder what Google Trends gives me if I look it up on Google Trends. But yeah, it's exploded in popularity. I think the fitness, that whole content has really supplemented all that, because you're seeing a lot of older people they're watching this content and saying, I want that. And then they read up on it and they read Wikipedia articles and they read that you need testosterone to build muscle. And they think, oh, I'm old. Well, let me get on TRT. Now, my scope of knowledge kind of ends there. I know you do need testosterone to build muscle. So it could be very well true that RFK Jr. needs, I don't know if he is on it, but if he is on TRT, that he needs it or whatever to build muscle and all that. But to even go on an even further tangent before I finish up this little thing on RFK, you may not even need that, because I've seen the example otherwise. I was a little younger, must have been like 19 or 20, and I had my first inklings of wanting to work out and change my body. And yeah, the motivations were probably vain. Health was also the motivation a little bit. But I went all in. I was like 7 days a week, all in. Like I was like, let's go, let's get big. And I didn't see progress as fast as I wanted. And right away I went into my head and I was like, what's wrong? I must be low T. I'm not building muscle. And so I went to a clinic, and because it's Canada and I had the socialized medicine to do so, and the government was willing to pay for my insane lapse in judgment. And so I believed Satan and I said, I must have low T. And so I went and I got a blood test, and they were like, you have fantastic testosterone. It's higher than normal. By the way, yeah. It's a little higher than normal. Just saying. But there's another man I know who has high T, and he's not on TRT, and I saw him lift 225 for reps. That's Jesse Lee Peterson, the man himself. So maybe get on TRT, or maybe, how about, I don't know, overcome anger. Maybe you could try that. But shout out to RFK lifting. I wonder how many votes he got from that. He almost got mine. But then I remembered we already got our guy. Funny stuff. Yeah, some people heard my thing on steroids. I had a caller on Friday. Okay, and I don't know how, I think he was being a little jokey, a little tongue-in-cheek, but he heard a previous episode I did where I was basically saying, if you're going to do steroids, inject them. Okay? If you're going to do steroids, inject them with a needle in your arm. And so I was saying that. It was a little bit of a joke. In my opinion, I don't think you should do that. I think you'll do irreparable damage to your body, and you'll lose your natty card, like we were talking about. But I made a little commentary on steroids, because it's a known fact that to be the greatest of Mr. Olympia or whatever bodybuilding world is right now, and again, the cost is very high. Do not forget, the cost to be great in that field is very high. We're talking mental, physical cost. But we know this. For those that don't know, those people are on steroids. So if you want to get there, you're going to have to pay the cost. And so I made that commentary. I had a call on Friday. And I think this person was joking, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but they were saying, Nick, you convinced me to go on steroids. I'm going to do it. And I think that person was joking, trying to make a point that I shouldn't be saying that. But honestly, if you're going to do steroids, inject them. You'll ruin your liver otherwise. So man up and put the needle in your... Now again, this is all a joke. I don't think that's not good advice. Now, you want to go be Mr. Olympia and do that and put that in your body? I won't judge you. But, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Now, that being said, though, on the topic of steroids, I want a steroid sports league. Okay, like this is fun. I get it. We have our regular sports leagues. All the different sports, the Olympics, and you have men and women just doing great feats. Mostly men, let's be real. Doing great feats, physical feats of athleticism where the world is watching and they bring honor to their countries and all that. That's all great and fine and all that. Let's keep that. But I also want a steroid league, okay? I want a league, I want an Olympics where people consensually, adults who consensually want to do this, obviously, get on the gear, and because I want to see the 100-meter dash in less than 6 seconds. I want to see incredible things. 100-meter dash. What's the record? I think it's 6 point something. Usain Bolt. Oh, never mind. It's 9.5. Usain Bolt. 9.5 seconds. Okay, I want to see the 100-meter dash in less than 8 seconds. Okay, Doom Jesus says it's already that way, Nick. Fair enough, but it's kind of like hidden and like, oh, they're cheating, so we have to like hide it and you get tested. No, I'm talking about a league where you don't need to test because it's allowed. I want to see incredible things, okay? I want to be entertained. I want bread and circuses so I can be distracted from the reality of life. All right, y'all, kind of just joking around here a little bit. Let me move on. What else about RFK? We're talking about bodybuilding, and we're talking about a little bit about diet and working out in your body. And I have to say this. I must say this. It's a little bit of an aside. It kind of fits. But I have to say this for posterity, for the record, just in case someone says it in the future, you will all know that it was my theory first. You'll all know that this was my theory first, so I'm going to present it here today first, so that you all know who said it first. Because we all know it requires you need to lift heavy, but you got to eat heavy if you want to be heavy. Okay? Anyways, I came across this video. Let me see if I can pull it up and show it to you. I didn't plan on doing this. Let me see. Okay. It was a video, and it's a video of an ancient village cooking technique. And it's this woman, and she's covering this big old hunk of liver in what looks like dirt and sand. And she's heating up the dirt and the sand, and it's going to bake the liver. It bakes the liver in the hot sand or dirt or whatever. And it's supposed to be an ancient cooking technique, okay? And I'm going to show you the video here in a second. And I'm aware of this somewhat. There's a Turkish way of making coffee where they have a big, what looks like, it looks like a big container of sand, and this sand is being superheated underneath. And they have like a metal receptacle full of water and coffee grounds or whatever. And they run this receptacle, the bottom is this big metal bulb, and the top is an opening, like a receptacle. And they move it through the hot sand with a handle, and this hot sand boils the water and it cooks it. So I know it's a bit, I'm somewhat aware of this, but I'd never seen this, where someone is literally cooking this meat, liver. And let me pull it up. Let me pull up the beautiful footage here. What do we got here? Studio 8. Let me flip to that. Check it out. Let's see if we can watch this a little bit. I didn't plan this, so it's a little bit, I'm bumbling. I'm messing around with the computer here. Bumbling around a little bit. Okay. We're going to watch this at half volume, hopefully. And let me pull this up and make sure you guys can all at least hear. If you guys can't hear it, it doesn't matter. As long as you can see the video. Let's play that footage. You can see the sand and dirt here. Oh, man. Hold on. Okay, Facebook. We're on Facebook watching that beautiful Facebook content. Let's watch this. Oh. You can see they're covering the liver with this sand or whatever, this dirt. And you can see the captions say it's an ancient cooking technique. It ends up baking the liver. Now check out this part right here. Now, they're cutting, this woman is cutting the liver into little pieces, okay? You can see that the liver's cooked, so kind of amazing. And then you see them cover it in this chili powder. You see this? Does that look appetizing to any of you? Dry, sand-baked liver with some chili powder. Does that look appetizing to anybody? And this is my theory right here. This is my theory. Take this in. My theory is that spice, chili, capsaicin, chili pastes, the cultures that eat that in like excessive levels, like the Chinese, the Thai. Honestly, I've found this in every culture, to be honest. In every culture going far back enough, they eat crazy spice. And my theory is that it was to make food palatable. Usually inedible things, palatable. That's why you see these crazy crazy Thai super spicy, you know what I mean? That's a tradition from when they were eating inedible things. This is my opinion, okay? This is my headcanon. This is just my theory. But in case this theory gets proved or someone makes a video or something, you guys will see it came from me first. I heard that from Ty before as well. Dang. It's okay, I'm not original. But that's my theory here. Is that they needed to, India, all these just excessive spices, and not even just the hot spices, but the pungent ones. And trust me, I like spices. I like plenty, but I think that's why, in my opinion, it was somewhat inspired by trying to make food palatable. And don't get me wrong, I like a good chili. I like a good hot salsa. Don't get me wrong. I like a good habanero. But yeah, Hake, I don't think sand is good for your stomach. And neither is chili, really. Chili it hurts. And if you've noticed something going on with food generally, in the fast food world and in the processed food world, spice, hot chicken, Nashville hot. I don't know. In my opinion, driving around LA, I feel like hot. And don't get me wrong, some of these hot chicken places are bomb. Great stuff. But I don't know. It feels like they're making food, this slop, easier to just shove down your mouth. You know what I mean? Spice. Yeah, it's an ancient way of making inedible food edible. In my opinion, I made that up. Let's move on. What do we got left? What do we got next? Looks like alpha jerky. Hey, take that back. Everything is fake. Look, I don't usually review stuff. I know I don't. I don't usually review stuff like this. Straight up, alpha jerky's pretty darn good. Okay. I used to have a dehydrator. I got into jerky making with some friends. Hey, alpha jerky's pretty good. Straight up. Good taste, everything. Okay. Let me see here. What's next? Let me make sure everything's set here with the viewers and the chatters. What's up? It's a party over there on Rumble. What's up, Steve? Big Mama Obama. It's a pleasure. Thank you for supporting me on Rumble. Let me see. Oh, I think some of you responded about the Yankees thing. Yeah. Yankees are shaved. Angels. Thank you, Big Mama Obama. Does Jesse ever hire athletic boys? What the heck? Are you not watching the show? Okay, stop laughing. Stop it. It's enough laughing. That was the joke. You can stop. All right, let's move on to what else? What else do we got? I mean, I got all these videos. You see Jacob Frey, Mayor Jacob Frey. Oh, jeez. Let's move on. Let's not even do that. It's the mayor of Minneapolis, I believe. Just looking silly out there, dancing, doing some silly dances on Juneteenth. What else? You know what? Let's talk about this. Democracy. Yeah, I'll rant a little bit about democracy. and then we'll end the show. Because I was struck by the conversation on Sunday about democracy. It was nice. If you guys missed church on Sunday, it was great service. And at the beginning there was some talk about democracy and a republic in America, what it is, did we ever have it? And so it was a good thing. It was a good discussion on that. I thought it was interesting. Let me see if I can remember what I wanted to say about this. But a couple of questions that were said. I mean, Jesse was asking people, okay, what is it? He asked Raymond, who gave a great answer, on democracy and what a republic is. And so Jesse was asking, what it is, and was there a time when we had that in this country? Do we have it now or don't we? And so, so democracy is a word. And so people, there's many people giving their takes on Sunday. And I understand that people were saying, well, democracy is mob rule. Democracy means 51%, the majority, okay? It's mob rule. If the majority agrees on something, then it's A-okay, but that a majority is simply 51%. So if 51% vote to kill the other 49%, is that justified? Is that moral? Well, that's democracy. But, not quite. That is one form of democracy, but, if you look up the definition, it just means the will of the people, okay? So in that sense, Raymond was on it. Raymond was on it. Here's another thing. The definition of republic is practically the same as well. It's a state where it's governed by the will of the people. Democracy is the will of the people, and a republic is, these are just general definitions, okay? It's a state in which political power rests with the public, okay? And so, they're really similar in that sense. In what they define. And so we see different forms of it. We see the representative Republic of America, where it's not majority rules, but everyone has a proportional say to try and balance out the power. Bigger states with more population get more representatives in the House of Representatives to proportionally represent them in Congress. Meanwhile, the Senate, every state gets 2 senators to keep it equal amongst them all. And these two powers interpolate and push and pull on each other. Okay? The aim here being to keep things stable. Not too much power in one place. But so there was people saying democracy is the rule, is mob rule. And so there was a little bit of confusion there, but it got cleared up. But what else? What else was it? What did I want to say about this? Oh, yeah. There was one thing about, will a godly populace, or no, it wasn't even that. It's like, does believing in God make it easier or better to have a democracy? I believe was the question. Something like that. Something about, about that. About how does believing in God make it easier or better? You follow me? I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. And so people were wondering, people were asking about, people were giving their takes. Saying, you'd have to be godly to have democracy and all that. But like I said, democracy is the will of the people. Doesn't mean the people have to be godly. It's just like a political term. It's just a political system, okay? Now, I think I understand what some people are getting at. Freedom and democracy can only come from a godly society because it's the evil satanic people who want to control everything and consolidate power. Meanwhile, the individual, Jesus cared about the individual. God wants the individual to be uplifted. I'm kind of just saying buzzwords, but you guys follow me, right? I feel like that's partly the reason why people say that democracy is a Christian thing or it's a godly thing. But yeah, I don't think it has to be that deep. It's just the will of the people, and the people don't have to be godly to enact their will. And on that too, on this topic about authority and where it's derived from, because we look at these definitions like republic, a state where, a state in which political power rests in the people. Okay. But let's look at like a monarchy where there's a king. Didn't the people, and people may not have chosen the king because I know it's like a lineage of stuff. But can't the people like revolt? Like, who's in charge. You know who to blame if things go wrong. So isn't that still a state in which political power rests with the public? Or am I just stretching definitions here? Am I really, really stretching it? It was a thought-provoking conversation, okay? It was a thought-provoking conversation. And it made me think about authority, where it's derived from, who has the right to it. It's kind of all the same. Even the communists say the same thing. The communists say the same thing. This is a system so that the power goes back to the people. How come everybody says that? Yeah, Matthew, that's an interesting point. Matthew in the chat says revolt is perfectly legal. Meanwhile, in a democracy, that's called an insurrection. Democracy calls it insurrection. Yeah. At least a king, you know who to blame. You're like, no. And then the power's in the people. I don't know, it's a thought-provoking conversation about democracy. And I realized, what was I going to say about this? About democracy. Well, one thing here's another thing. I think in these conversations, people think that everyone is going to agree on something. Like everyone is going to suddenly agree to be moral or suddenly agree to be sane or Christian. Like, when does that ever happen? And on this topic of democracy, it's like they say democracy is the will of the people. Okay, so it means freedom. Okay, no. What about that word? The word freedom kind of makes you think a little bit. It's like, okay, you're free to do what you want. And the founding fathers who came here to America, they wanted to create a free country, where you have liberty and all that. But, I don't know if that's totally accurate, because they were Christian men, or, they believed in God, and they believed the society should go a certain way and you should follow certain laws. They believed in a law of the land, a republic with a law. Sounds kind of oppressive. You know what I mean? It's kind of how you look at it. Sounds kind of oppressive to some. In fact, I've had callers who say it is oppressive. But some might say that's an oppression. The people who wanted to come here and put a democracy. So kind of thought-provoking, democracy. The will of the people. Well, democracy means the people. It means the power is in the people. But the problem is the people are retarded. Yeah, anybody seen that video? You guys know what video I'm talking about? Let me see if I can pull it up. But the problem is the people are retarded. Is this like Indian looking guy? He's got a turban on. He looks very distinguished. He looks like he's a wise man. And in this video, he's describing, he's got a hot take on democracy. Let's see if you guys can hear this. I think I might have to switch something up here technically for you to be able to hear it. If you can't, we'll move on. Yeah, no, you guys can't hear this video. We'll have to, it's not important. It wasn't even part of the show. But if you don't know the video I'm talking about, he's giving his hot take on democracy. He's saying democracy it's a power derived from the people. But the people are retarded. Which is a good point. If you really think about it, it's kind of deep. Because think about how much we care about public opinion. Public opinion is stupid. And here we are caring about it. Here we are caring about our reputation, caring about what people think about you, caring about what criticisms people give to you. You're not supposed to be really emotionally affected by criticism. Okay? Really examine yourself, because shout out to the people who can't take criticism. Okay? But that's not normal, okay? That's not normal, but don't take it so hard. Okay? It's not that important. It's not that deep. Most people don't really know what they're talking about anyways. So if you're getting criticism, just let it go in one ear out the other. You know in your heart what's true. You know in your heart. Let it be, and let that truth do its work on your life. You can't do anything about it anyways. So just accept it, and don't get all mad if someone's criticizing you. The people don't really know you, okay? Usually people close to you, the people closest to you, and I'm talking about proximity, really. No one's really close. I'm talking about people who work with you that are around you a lot. They get to see parts of you that you are hiding. And if they criticize you, listen. They usually have some interesting things to say. But at the same time, they don't know you. They don't know you. So in that criticism, they'll say things that are not right. And you'll get that urge to judge and go like, what are you talking about? I implore you to drop that urge. It is not natural. It's not a natural thing to not be able to take criticism. Just calm down, listen to it, let it go in here, what the other, and say thank you. Okay? Don't judge them. They don't know your heart. They're gonna get things wrong. So don't get all in your head. Okay? And definitely listen to your enemy's criticism, as emotional as it might be. That's some good criticism. Okay, kind of rambling here. What was I saying here? Public opinion. Who cares about public opinion? They're literally dumb. They're literally Democrats. But you see what I'm saying? Like, why would you care about a person's opinion? You know what I'm saying? Nah, mean. You know what I'm saying, Johanse? Okay, what do we got left? What do we got today? It's been a show. It's been a fun one, y'all. That's kind of what I wanted to say about democracy. Let's see if I can remember. Because that was a good church. I'm going to have to, hey, if you guys didn't watch that, if you guys didn't podcast Sunday's fellowship, check it out. I know I'm going to. It might jog my memory, and I'll come at you with some more stuff about democracy and more if I so see the need to, and it comes to me. On the next show. How about that? I'm going to podcast it, see if it can jog my memory. Let me see what else here. There was some interesting stuff about Merrick Garland. Impeach Garland. I wanted to respond to Anna. Anna, are you listening to my show still? Anna from Missouri. Nice lady. I was talking about Matt Walsh and the juice, which you're not allowed to do. But I wasn't saying mean things. I was being straight up with what I was saying about Matt Walsh and transgenderism and all that. But there was people who were coming out the woodwork, and they had something to say about what I said. I think I want to deal with that maybe tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to leave it for tomorrow. That was good. I do appreciate you guys tuning in today. That was the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me tomorrow for more. What are you saying in the chat? Anyways, appreciate you being with me today. I'm the American Anchor Baby. That was my show today. Join me tomorrow for more, 12 o'clock. Don't miss Hake Report. Don't miss Joel Friday. And of course, we all wake up for JLP. Appreciate it yet again. Take care. See you tomorrow.